Do you have any hesitations about me joining the team? This is one of the most talked about and most controversial questions to ask at the end of the interview. Some claim it's a proactive way to show interest only for the most confident of candidates, while others say it's annoying, it's desperate, and it does more harm than good. In today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts along with my personal experience and that of my clients who have been so bold as to ask this question. First, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. This way you'll be notified every time I release a new job search training. If you're already part of the Job Joy community, I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new to me, welcome. I'm Kristen Zavo, a certified career coach with 15 plus years traditional experience. I'm also the best-selling author of Job Joy, Your Guide to Success, Meaning, and Happiness in Your Career. And my work has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Fortune Magazine, Real Simple, Yahoo News, CNBC, and more. I help high achievers to land jobs and build careers they love so that they can thrive at work and in the rest of their life. Okay, so it's the end of the interview and they ask you, do you have any questions? You're prepared, so you have your list, but there's one question you're not sure if you're brave enough to ask. And that is some version of, do you have any reservations about me joining the team? Now, the idea behind this question is that it shows you're being proactive, it shows your interest, it gives them an opportunity to share what they're thinking. It kind of puts them on the spot, so you're more likely to get an honest answer, a real read on the situation versus after you leave. It also gives you a chance to address any objection. Now, there are some ways where it could go sideways. If you're asking from a place of neediness or seeking validation instead of confidence and interest, some argue that it makes them find reasons that you might not be a fit. Others say they're not going to be honest with you anyway, and now they're annoyed. Want to know what I think? That's up next. But before I tell you, I'm curious, yes or no, would you be open to trying this question in your next interview? Okay, so here are my thoughts. If you know me at all, you know I generally take a more balanced case-by-case approach to questions like this, and this is no different. That said, I am someone who has used this question in my own job search in the past, and I've seen clients do it in theirs. When employed correctly, it can be a really effective strategy to stand out and show your interest. And the main reason is this phenomenon that happens, and maybe you can relate. You go through an interview, you think it went really well, they're talking about the future, they're talking about next steps. You're basically doing research on negotiation because you're so sure you're going to get an offer, and then you don't hear back. And this causes candidates to drive themselves crazy, wondering what was the reason. They're replaying the interview. Is it something I said? Is it something I didn't say? I should have used a better example. We can really overthink and then start to wonder, is there something wrong with me? Maybe I'm not qualified to do the job. When this question is asked with discernment, you're not going to be in this situation driving yourself crazy because you have a better chance of knowing exactly where you stand. It goes without saying, with any question like this, especially a bold question, you want to use discernment. Read the room. Did the interview go well? Are you vibing, right? Does it feel like there is a mutual appreciation and respect for each other? If the answer is yes, then you can move forward and ask this question from a place of confidence, from a place of openness. And this allows you, number one, to have a better chance of knowing what they're thinking, and number two, to address any concerns which might not even be valid. For example, you might have a really great interview, you're having great conversation, it goes over time. And when you ask this question, you say something to the effect of, I've really enjoyed getting to know the team and learn more about the job, and I'm even more excited. And I wanted to ask you, based on what you know so far, do you have any reservations about me joining the team? That would be an example of a way that you could ask. And the interviewer might say something like, and I've had this happen, hey, I think you're a great fit. My only concern is it's a really long commute, and the last guy left because the commute was too long. Now, this is an example of something that has nothing to do with your experience, with the value that you bring, but is just a limiting belief or a past experience from the interviewer, which could stop you from getting the job. And so when they bring this up, you can say, hey, great, thanks for bringing that up. I'm actually looking forward to having a commute. I miss my alone time. Or it might be that the commute is not actually as bad or as long as they thought it was. Another example might be that that when you ask this question, they say that they're really looking for someone with a very specific type of experience. And maybe it didn't come up in the interview. Maybe they didn't ask. And so this is your opportunity to show that you do have the experience. Another example of this might be that they might tell you that you're a really great fit for the job, they love your experience, and they have to prioritize internal candidates. And so in this case, if you didn't hear back, you would understand it had nothing to do with you. For those who believe we don't want to ask this question because asking about hesitations or reservations makes someone look for them, here's what I would say. We have to remember that the purpose of an interview is to assess your fit for the job. So it's kind of silly to think that they're not already looking to see, are they a fit? Are they not? Right? That's the whole purpose of this conversation. But when you do ask this question, it does give you some intel that is helpful both for this job and beyond. Why? Because it puts them on the spot. And they're more likely to be honest with you when you're in a conversation, you're a real person in front of them, and they don't have too much time to overthink. After you leave the interview, the odds of you getting honest feedback are slim to none. It's awkward. There are legal reasons. They might be really busy. There might be a change of plans. There are a lot of reasons that a hiring manager might ghost you. But when you're in the middle of the interview, you're having a great conversation. That's the time where you're more likely to get an honest read on the situation. Is it foolproof? Of course not, but you do have a better chance. So while I know other coaches and recruiters might come for me, and I'm all for a healthy debate, when done with confidence and after a positive interview, this question can lead to more information and honest discussion and potentially even more peace of mind in knowing where you stand. Now that you know my take, I'm curious, is this something you'd try? Tell me in the comments. Want more job search tips? Check out my other video trainings as well as some free resources that I've linked for you in the description below. As always, if there's a particular topic you'd like me to cover, let me know that too. I'll see you next time.